Well, good morning and welcome to Grace for Today. My name is Marshall, and today is a special day in the life of the church. Today is Ascension Day. It is Thursday. It is 40 days after the resurrection, which means today is the day that Jesus ascended to the right hand of God the Father. We'll actually look at this, Jesus' ascension to God's right hand, on Sunday during our sermon. We'll actually kind of spend 2 weeks on it. I'm super excited about it. So I want to do something a little bit different for Grace for Today, and I want to give a little bit of the scriptural background for the doctrine of Christ's ascension, because as we will see this Sunday, in Acts chapter 1, after 40 days of post-resurrection ministry, Jesus ascended to God's right hand in a cloud. It's this massive, amazing story. And I want to read a couple passages. So that's Acts chapter 1. That tells the story. Jesus ascended. The backstory to that, going all the way back to the scriptures, let me read a couple passages from the Jewish scriptures, the Old Testament. First, Psalm 68, verse 18 says this: "You ascended on high, leading a host of captives in your train and receiving gifts among men." And we'll see that passage show up in just a moment in the New Testament, Ephesians chapter 4. But also in what is the most quoted verse from the Jewish scriptures in the Christian New Testament, the most quoted verse from the Jewish scriptures in the Christian New Testament is Psalm 110, verse 1. The Lord said to my Lord, "Sit at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool." A promise of God the Father to God the Son that he will sit at his right hand and make his enemies his footstool. That's Psalm 110, Psalm 68. But then we come into the New Testament. Of course, we have Jesus ascending in Acts chapter 1. But then we have this magnificent verse that we'll look at the first Sunday of June, actually the last Sunday of May 31st. Colossians chapter 3. Because Jesus is ascended and sitting at God's right hand, because of that, Paul writes this in Colossians 3. "If you have been raised with Christ, seek the things that are above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. Set your mind on things that are above, not on things that are on the earth. For you have died, and your life is hidden with Christ in God." Now those are amazing verses, that our life is hid with Christ in God, and we are therefore to seek the things that are above. Now I just want you to think about one thing, that the absence of Jesus, when he ascended on high, the absence of Jesus to God's right hand, to heaven, is actually the basis by which we seek the presence of God. This is the miracle and the wonder of the ascension, that the absence of Jesus actually makes our heart grow fonder for the presence of God. So I hope I've whetted your appetite just a little bit for the next couple of weeks in the sermon series. I gotta tell you, I'm really excited and look forward to breaking that open a little bit more for us. So that's Grace for Today. Have a great day. Have a great Ascension Day.